Across the pond, Donald Trump has described his Republican rival, Ron DeSantis, as a really terrific person after the Florida governor dropped out of the 2024 presidential race and endorsed the former president. DeSantis announced on Sunday he will be ending his campaign trail ahead of the New Hampshire primary, where he was polling at just 6%. Despite a long-running and bitter rivalry between the two candidates, Trump was full of praise for Ron DeSantis while speaking at a rally just yesterday.
He left the campaign trail today at 3 p.m. and in so doing, he was very gracious and he endorsed me, so I appreciate it. I appreciate that, and I also look forward to working with Ron and everybody else to defeat crooked Joe Biden. We will have to get him out.
DeSantis' exit means Nikki Haley is now the only candidate competing against Trump for the 2024 Republican nomination. Joining me now, US political commentator, managing editor at Inside Sources, our friend Michael Graham is back with us. I can't help, Michael, but want to just laugh. I mean, every time he speaks, I mean, the crooked Joe comment is always amusing, but he's now got a new best friend in Ron DeSantis. Who would have thought it?
Well, hey, Trump loves people who love Donald Trump, and that's his whole system. And by the way, I assume you can tell that I'm not sitting in our usual studio. I'm actually on the streets of Manchester, New Hampshire, right down the street from the DoubleTree Hotel, where all the action will be happening later, and talking to voters, and of course covering it through our New Hampshire Journal product. And I will tell you that the thing that unites the Republican Party is that, rightly or wrongly, Republicans like Donald Trump. They just do. And so if Trump says you're supposed to hate Ron DeSanctimonious, then they're going to hate him. And then it's time to give him a big hug. They're ready to do that as well. Although I did run into a guy today in downtown Manchester who had a Ron DeSantis 2024 hat. And he had taken a little piece of tape and put like an 8 over it. So he's already ready for 2028.
I like his thinking. It's worth, Michael, while you're with us, let's just remind everybody of how relatively recently, this is how Donald Trump used to talk about Big Ron.
But I'll tell you about, from Ron's standpoint, he's definitely not up to the job. I haven't even mentioned the name of Ron DeSanctimonious yet because I think he's gone. He does not wear high heels, okay? He does not wear high heels. All right, maybe he does. And I'm not wearing lifts either, by the way. I don't have 6-inch heels. Problem with Ron DeSanctimonious is that he needs a personality transplant. Ron DeSanctimonious and Nikki Haley and all the rest of the pack will never do what it takes to secure the border. They'll never do what it takes to make our country great again.
And I'm going to just watch that over and over again for the next 3 hours. Well, and of course, the one thing we tend to forget, Michael, is that these guys are all from the same party, for goodness sake.
Look, everybody, someone was asking, I can't believe that Ron DeSantis is going to endorse Donald Trump. Look, Ron DeSantis was always going to endorse Donald Trump if Donald Trump became the nominee. Yep. Nikki Haley, if as expected, Donald Trump gets about 50% in New Hampshire tomorrow night, she's at some point, whether it's before South Carolina's primary at the end of February or after, she's going to endorse him. That's what you do. It's this is the interfight party, and then that ends, and you all put on your jerseys and you go out and play for Team Red or Team Blue. Remember, just 4 years ago, Joe Biden came to New Hampshire and came in fifth place, behind kooky Bernie Sanders and Pete Buttigieg. And yet, what happened a month later when he became the nominee? Everybody was on board. And so, I'm sitting here at the Bridge Cafe in downtown Manchester. People are talking politics, and nobody is surprised that Republicans are uniting around their candidate any more than they are the Democrats are gathering around theirs.
Indeed. Nikki Haley, of course, will be the next to endorse Donald Trump, inevitably at some point. Although not before more than a few sideswipes. In fact, she's kind of playing the cognitive game, I noticed, something that Trump does very well with Sleepy Joe. She's accusing the former president of losing his mind, essentially.
Well, she's saying, you have cognitive issues with Joe Biden, and now you've had some stumbles with Donald Trump. He said Nikki Haley at an event the other night that I was at, where he really meant former Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi. But the fact is, like last night, Trump did a 2-hour rally, 2 hours of talk. And obviously some of it's scripted, but most of it's not. Could Joe Biden do a 2-minute unscripted TV hit? I don't know. So I don't think that argument's going to work. The argument that she's been using that has got some attention is that he's a chaos agent. that, people are tired of disorder in America. There's a lot of concern about the border and crime and international issues. And do you want more chaos? And then the other argument that seems to be working with New Hampshire Journal readers when we surveyed them was, can he win in November? Can he beat Joe Biden?
Yeah. And can he beat Joe Biden? There is the question, Michael.
Ian, you could beat Joe Biden.
I would take that guy on any day of the week. There's no doubt about that. And I mean, the Donald Trump super fan base never stops. I mean, Donald Trump could sleep with your daughter and then kill your dog, and people would still say, but he's a good guy.
Well, if you reverse those, you might get into some trouble. But I don't know. Look, he's got his strong support. The question is, can he build a bigger coalition? Can he get some of the suburban college-educated voters who've abandoned him in the past back on board? I don't know that he can get them to vote for him, but I definitely think Joe Biden can get them to not vote for Joe Biden. I think that's the game.
Well, we've got an election as well this year, Michael, and yours is far more exciting, frankly, although ours might be a little more concerning. I would say that much. Michael Graham, as ever, thank you